Wisdom, stand aright. Let us listen to the Holy Gospel. Peace be with all.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to the Evangelist Mark.
Glory be to you, O Lord. Glory be to you.
Let us be attentive. At that time, King Herod came to hear of Jesus, for his reputation had become widespread, and people were saying John the Baptizer has been raised from the dead. That is why such miraculous powers are at work in him. Others were saying he is Elijah, still others, he is a prophet equal to any of the prophets. On hearing of Jesus, Herod exclaimed, John, whose head I had cut off, has been raised up. Herod was the one who had ordered John arrested, chained and imprisoned on account of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip, whom he had married. That was because John told Herod, it is not right for you to live with your brother's wife. Herodias harbored a grudge against John for this, and wanted to kill him, but was unable to do so. Herod feared John, knowing him to be an upright and holy man, and kept him in custody. When he heard John speak, he was very much disturbed, yet he felt the attraction of his words. Herodias had her chance one day when Herod held a birthday dinner for his court circle, military officers, and the leading men of Galilee. Herodias' own daughter came in at one point and performed a dance, which delighted Herod and his guests. The king told the girl, ask for anything you want, I will give it to you. He went so far as to swear to her, I will grant you whatever you ask, even to half my kingdom. She went out and said to her mother, what shall I ask for? The mother answered, the head of John the Baptizer. And that the girl hurried back to the king's presence and made a request. I want you to give me at once the head of John the Baptizer on a platter. The king bitterly regretted the request, yet because of his oath in the presence of the guests, he did not want to refuse her. He promptly dispatched an executioner, ordering him to bring back the baptizer's head. The man went and beheaded John in the prison. He brought in the head on the platter and gave it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mother. Later, when his disciples heard about this, they came in and carried his body away and placed it in a tomb.
Glory be to you, O Lord. Glory be to you.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Slava Christus. Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory be forever.
So, we've heard this story many times, I'm sure, in our life about John the Baptist and how he died because he had his head cut off. And the reason he had his head cut off is because he wanted King Herod to know that what he was doing was wrong in the eyes of the Lord. And we in our society today, it's so difficult for us to speak the truth because we're always worried what's going to happen to us. We're always worried about the people's reaction to us if we speak the truth of God. And John the Baptist wasn't worried. He knew that what Herod had done, committing adultery, was wrong. That what he was doing to marry his brother's wife was sinful. And so he spoke out. He didn't care what the consequences were. And again, in our world today, I don't know if we don't have that courage, we don't have that understanding that, we have to speak out against the evils of this world, no matter what. And John the Baptizer was considered one of the greatest saints after Jesus because of this, because of his faithfulness, because of his understanding that the truth has to be spoken all the time. And even though, Herod was angry at him, as the gospel said, say the truth of God, people will respect us. They might not like what we say. They might not agree with what we say, but they will respect us because we are holding on to the truth and not being wishy-washy like much of this world is. This agreeing to whatever the public opinion is for that day. Say, oh, well, I'll agree with that today, and I'll agree with this tomorrow. This don't. I don't want anyone to. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to have anyone angry at me. No, that's not how we should live our Christian life. We can't be on the fence. We have to pick one side or the other and say, hey, I'm going to agree with what God asks us to do. I'm going to agree with the world. We can't pick in the middle. You've got to pick one side or the other. And this is what John the Baptist did. So we can learn a lot from his life. Yes, he died at a young age because of this truth he spoke out. And the sinful acts that Herod and Herodias and her daughter did, they'll be judged for that. They were judged for that, of course. It's like we'll all be judged for our actions in this world. But the important thing to remember from this story is that God knows what's in our hearts. God knows everything in our hearts. He knows if we are faithful to Him. He knows if we are, doing the right thing all the time. We could be saying different things, but in our hearts we could feel something totally different. In John, there is no difference. What he spoke is what was in his heart. He knew the truth and he spoke it out all the time.